Hello, and welcome to Nice and Blunt. I'm Adam Riancha, your host. Today is Saturday, August 8th, 11 a.m., going a little early today, as is typical on Saturday. But we're going to hop into some best ball drafts. They dropped a new contest today, but I'm not a fan. We'll talk about that in just a sec. First, let's hit that intro. All right, we got Pepper Tony coming in fimpst today. He left the comment like instantly. I don't know if he just was sharp on the refresh game, but as soon as this thing was posted like 10 minutes ago, Pepper Tony was in here and he was fimpst. What's up, brother? How we doing? And Jerry is also in the house. Let's go. Let's go. We're going to draft some teams today, and I just want to break down really quickly the Frenchie Eliminator 3, which did drop today. I am not a fan. I am not a fan of this payout structure at all. 10K to first, but look at what you get for like making it deep into this thing. So if you make it to week 4, you get the $3 buy-in back. Big whoop. The next week you get an extra $2. A week after that, $8. Then up to 10, 12, 15, 18. Like, the fuck? This is dog shit. This is terrible. What the fuck? You're telling me I can get to like week 12 and only get $50 back? Fuck that. Fuck that shit. If you make it to week 16, you're guaranteed 1,000, but like week 15 is hard to make, and that's only $200. Like, I don't see the point. I do not see the point of this Frenchie Eliminator 3. Like, if you just want to see the $3 thing and be like, okay, yeah, it's the cheap one. Let's get. I think you're not thinking it through. Look at the payout structure. It's not worth it to me at all. Maybe you can force me to do one with like a big enough super chat or some shit. I have no interest in this at all. Jokes aside, I don't think I'm entering the Frenchie Eliminator 3. I would much rather just do the regular Eliminators. The regular Eliminator is way more interesting, far better payout. But first off, we're gonna join the Pit Bull. But in all honesty, I almost feel like the Little Dalmatian is a better single entry thing if you wanted to do it. So that's my take on it. You can agree to disagree. If you want to enter that, be my guest. But I think the payout structure is absolute dog shit on that one. But Smokers Haven saying it's a lottery ticket, basically. Yeah. Unless you finish top 4, I don't know if it's really worth your time. But Rock, what's up? Soon as I get out of the military and win a big tournament, you got to have me on the channel. I'll pack a bowl. Okay, Rock. Sure. Let's do it. I will hold you to that. How about that? What's up, Mr. Mufasa? Sivenya. Shout out Bayou. Shout out Bayou. Okay. Before we get going, real quick, I haven't mentioned this on the channel in a minute, and I probably should. So let's shout out our channel partnership real quick. We do have a promo code available for Underdog. If you're new to the channel, if you're new to Underdog, if you're new to Best Ball and you want to sign up for Underdog, maybe get some practice in for your redraft league, this is the perfect environment. All these mock drafts are actually for real money. They can pay out, and you're not going to get stuck in an auto-drafted lobby over on like ESPN or some shit. There's people that stick around. If anything, if someone autos, that's better for you. That's actually more ideal. So promo code BLUNT in the description. Sign-up code is linked only for new customers, but play your first 5, you get $50 in bonus entries. And that's like playing one puppy, you get 10 for free, essentially. You can also get 2 BBMs for free. However you choose to use those funds, that is up to you. That can be done at your own discretion. But promo code BLUNT, the link is in the description. And you also get your first deposit matched up to $1,000 by 50%. So you drop $100 on sign up, they give you an extra 50 up front. You play your first puppy, another 50 on top of that. That's how it goes. So just a reminder, the link is in the description, available for new customers, whether you're watching now or on the replay. Check that out. But we're going to enter the Pitbull. This one is 100% worth my time, in my opinion. A 2 out of 12, 1 out of 6, 1 out of 5, and then a 156-person final. If we do make the final, we are guaranteed $500. That's not bad when you can only drop 200 to max it. And then if we finish in the top 10, we are cooking 5 figures for 10th and then 6 figures up top for number 1. We're vying for 100K, way more juicy than only 10K with like dog shit odds to even make like $100. So we're hopping into the pit bowl, and we have a new countdown drop. If you would like to draft with me, I recommend you click the button when you see Brett Favre. But somewhere between Baker Mayfield and Brett Favre. But we'll be drafting very shortly. I'll see you on the other side.
Nice and blunt, torch up, nice and blunt, burn up, nice and blunt, rank up, inhale, exhale, points rail, nice and blunt, torch up, nice and blunt, burn up, nice and blunt, victor, inhale, exhale, points rail.
All right, we are entering the lobby, and damn, I got the first spot. Maybe there was an underfull. Maybe you wanted to get in, and I'm not in your lobby. That's possible. I mean, sometimes when you're right on the line there, sometimes it gets a little dicey. But all right, we are in this pit bull, and there's 10 spots. There's 10 spots. I'm gonna wait. We'll see what happens. But I'm glad you enjoy it, Mr. Mufasa. I'm glad you enjoy. I'm not much of a singer, but for you, I'm glad you enjoy it. But Disbanded, what's going on, my man? Nice to see you in here. Dot, as always. Let's go. But Jerry says, I'll stay out of this one. I only got 3 bullets left. Yeah, if you only have 3 bullets left in the pit bull, then take your time. But damn, if I had just clicked it maybe like a couple seconds earlier, maybe I would have already been drafting. But what's up, the FF Enjoyer? Hey, brother, GM. Yeah, we're getting money today. That's for sure. But you're saying Jerry's stream was nice last night, too? Thanks for putting me on. Yeah, you're welcome. Jerry knows his shit. Jerry knows what he's doing. But we got Bionic Donkey in here. Great band name, Dog Shit Odds. Yeah, that sounds right. Yo, what's up, Rob? How we doing? Professional Fanatics, if y'all haven't checked them out, friend of the channel. We had a dope-ass collab on Wednesday. He was on this channel. We drafted some fun teams in the... I think we only drafted 1 pit bull, actually. I don't know if we drafted a second one on this stream. But then we went over to his channel and not only went over all my top exposures, we also drafted an awesome pit bull on his channel as well. We got 2 bullets in the chamber. Me and Rob are splitting 2 entries in this contest. But you're saying Chris Bell possibly back for the preseason. That is wild. That'd be insane. I'd be kind of shocked. And that's kind of cool. Honestly, that's what I was hoping for the sake of like the Malik Willis argument. I felt like until they have Chris Bell, the receiving core is just dog shit. So it's not really my cup of tea to draft any of them. But I have clicked Caleb Douglas a few times. I'm out on Malik Washington, and I liked Chris Bell a lot as a prospect, but the injury was an issue. So if he's going to be back early, I don't know if he's playing week 1. I wouldn't expect that. But if you told me he's even back by like week 6, their bye is week 6. So I think he might just miss 5 weeks, and then week 7, we might see Chris Bell. That's some interesting news there. That is dope. But shout out Professional Fanatics. I recommend you follow over there if you haven't done so. Also, follow Jerry Football, good friend of the channel, in the chat here. Sharp drafters, both of them. But, all right, we're slowly filling this pit bull. Not the fastest I've ever seen, but it's all right. Not a Dulcich guy. I click him on occasion. I think he's a little overhyped. Like, this time last year, he was completely on his couch, you know, like... There was a time we drafted him in like the 12th round a few years ago with Russell Wilson. He was worthless. He looked okay last year, and the camp reports are that he was the top target, but like big whoop, right? Like who's his competition? It's not that impressive who he was going up against. So I'm fine with it. I think it's more of like a floor play than anything else. I'm not in love with Dulcich very much. He's okay, but in general, I'm not really dying to take Dulcich. If it fits the team on occasion, but you know what? Let me find out what my true exposure is on Dulcich. I think it's actually higher than I remember. There was a stretch there where I took him a decent amount, but I actually haven't done it that often in recent history. Let me check my exposure list. I've done 266 drafts in the regular NFL season since August 27th. Since April 27th, when all the contests dropped. My commitment to Greg Dulcich is 6.4%. I have taken him 17 times over the course of 266 drafts. That's not crazy, given his ADP is pretty low. That's not like my favorite pick, but I mix him in a little bit. I don't have him, as a full fade, but I don't have him as like a clear target. I'm not overcommitted to Miami in general. When it comes to the Dolphins, I have some time, so maybe I'll just bring this in. We have 2 spots left in this pitbull, so we're waiting. We are waiting, but okay, yeah. Let me bring in my Dolphins exposure here. Let me zoom in a little bit. All right, so the only guy I'm overweight on is Malik Willis, and that's just for like price and rushing upside reasons. I think he could offer a lot of rushing yards, but I'm right at 8% on Devon Achane, so maybe it's time to take one more share of him, get right back up to 8.3. So just a 1 share low on drafting Achane at baseline, but Dulcich at 6.4. Chris Bell, I have 6 shares of. I've taken a little bit of Chris Bell. I have 4 shares of Caleb Douglas, and I've clicked Malik Washington, unfortunately, 2 times. But I think that's a worthless click, honestly. I will not be doing that anytime soon. But looks like we filled that lobby. Which pick did we get? We got pick 5. Not my favorite, but could be much worse as well. Pick 5 is all right. If anything, I'm going to find out what my exposure is actually in... What's my exposure in the Pitbull 2? What's the deal with Jackson? I have a few shares of JSN, actually. I have not taken Christian McCaffrey yet. I'm probably taking a Christian McCaffrey team. If I had to guess, that's probably the move. At pick 5, I already have 2 shares of JSN in this contest. I think I'm going CMC. At pick 5. But we'll see what the board decides for me. Maybe Huncho Dean takes CMC here, and I get Puka. But I would assume he goes Puka. Stays normal. He's letting a timeout. I'll go CMC. I will take him there at pick 5. All right, let's shout out who's in this lobby with me. We got Swoleberger, Sam Renrilio, NTG, Huncho Dean, A Owner, Puka 12, Mig the Tig, Big Sploosh, Crumper Nickel, and then Poppy Sucre and Lintz. I don't recognize anyone but Big Sploosh, and I'm not sure if he's even watching. I've only seen him on Huhaim's channel. Not quite sure, but good luck, everyone. We got two of us will make it out of the pod. Good luck on one of those 2 making the final. That's what I pray for every time I go live. Whether I exit the pod or not, I pray that somebody in this lobby with me does make the final, and maybe they can go back and look at it. Whenever I'm like in the chat of another live streamer and I hop into their draft, what I do is I label that one with the date versus that streamer. And that way, in case it does pay off, I can go back and look at it and maybe leave a comment after the fact saying, I just won 100K and it was documented. But, yo, what's up, Jamie? Let's draft. How we doing? Good to see you. Let's bring in the music, shall we? Feels right, but not a bad percentage, though. Yeah, I'm not crazy on the Dolphins, but if we had more clarity, maybe I would take them a little bit more, but we'll see. But yo, Dulcich is no Hawkinson. He's not. This is 100% accurate. He is definitely not the talent of Hawkinson. I fully agree with that, Rob. 100%. But yo, what's up, Chris the Candyman, GM to the Fantasy Football Garage. If y'all haven't checked out our boy Chris, I recommend you check out his channel as well. Awesome live streamer. very sharp drafts. We've drafted some bangers over the course of the summer. Maybe we can get Chris back on the channel before the summer's over. Yo, is Achan here? He is. And I looked at those exposures. We could use one more share of Achan. Let's go double running back. Let's take CMC and Devon Achan. I'm happy with that. But St. Brown City, not today. I think I'm happy with how we started off. I'm not as big of a fan of the locked in triple receiver start. I'm a little surprised that Nico Collins went at 19. I don't hate it, but I'm a little surprised. But oh, yo, Pro Fanatics is in here. You're Crumpernickel. Gotcha. Good to see you, bro. Thank you for letting me know and appreciate you joining. So we'll take a look at maybe Big Sploosh and Crumpernickel at the end, since y'all are in this lobby. Appreciate y'all. Looks like we don't have any members in here though, so it's just because I'm interested. But the Iron Throne, what's up, Ruben? Says, what format? I missed it. We're in the Pit Bull. We are in the Pit Bull, but NAB versus Peppertoni. You're not in here, Peppertoni. But oh, okay, yeah. When you are live streaming, I guess. But yeah, I'm sure you like it. I'm sure you like it, Peppertoni. Pull up Achan. We get him at 20. That's the one reason I don't pull him up. We usually get him on a fall sometimes. But Bionic Donkey, Risky Biscuits. I'll take your word for it. I don't know what the fuck that means, but okay. Yo, Zay Flowers goes at 26. Someone's not afraid. Someone is not afraid, but I'll go Chris Olave at receiver. That is my highest ranked option. Would have loved that Rashi Rice fall, just 2 more picks, but we don't get it. Not going to complain. We start off with CMC and Achan. We already got our faller with Devon Achan, but Chris Olave at 29. I'm here for it. I like it. Like it quite a bit, but all right. Alrighty then. We have Jalen Coker on the thumbnail. If we get Jalen Coker on this team, I actually have a Mexican Coke in the fridge. I'll bring it out, and we will toast to a Jalen Coker. But that's only if I get him on the team. That's only if he's on the roster. I'll save that Mexican Coke for the appropriate instance when it happens. If I'm gonna drink Coca-Cola, give me the real shit. But yo, Big Sploosh going double elite tight end, the bully tight end format in this lobby. It's not that it can't work, but it's not my desired strategy. If anything, I think it's closer to a 1 of 11, 2 out of 11 now. So cheers, Big Sploosh. But I do not like in a vacuum. Trey McBride at 33, I think is pretty dope. But to start off Bowers, Trey McBride is not the way I typically want to get it going. But what's up, Danimal? How we doing? Hope you're having a good Saturday. Hope you're doing well. But First Down Fantasy just finished draft number 500 today, and all I gotta say is, man, I am tired. Gotcha. I think I've done a little over 600 since February, since my first draft of the season. Back in pre-draft, I did like 130, 180 or something, and then I've done well over 300. So I forget if I've done over 500 or 600. I think it's, oh, Byshel Tootin goes, interesting. Okay. Receivers drying up a little bit, honestly. Receivers starting to dry up just a tick. Shit. Nah, I'm going double New Orleans. Give me the double Saints. I'm in on Travis this year, and although I'm a little upset that his ADP fell at 44, I think I'm just willing to click it. I think I'm still a believer in Travis. I'm not afraid of the triple running back in the first 4 rounds. Our boy Rob did the same thing. He took Walker, Breece Hall, and Kyron. So a triple running back start, I'm okay with it. We do have a double week 8 bye with Christian McCaffrey and Travis, but I'm not going to be afraid of that. I am definitely Travis over Josh Jacobs. Had a groin injury last week, and odds are he's fine, but that's not something I want to be chasing. If anything, just give me the discount on Travis. But no Colombian Coke. No, Jamie. I can't say that's what we'll bust out. Definitely not. But Pepper Tony says elite tight end is just bad. Sadly, give me too much for not enough. Yeah, I think if you get like a really good price on Loveland in the 5th and you already had Bowers, maybe, but Bowers at 16, pulling him up and then taking McBride, not my favorite way to go about it, if I'm being completely honest. But I'll just take the money in the bank. Devontae Adams, he's not coming off the field unless he gets hurt. And as long as he's there, he's scoring a touchdown almost every single week. So floor play a little bit more, but a very strong floor play. If anything, we might have a top 15 floor with Devontae Adams. So where he's going, I think he's a steal. I don't want to overreact to last year's injury. He is old, but so is Evan, so is Terry. There's really nothing guaranteed with even the young players. Like Luther Burden limped off the field earlier today. There's no telling who's going to get hurt. It's kind of random. Is it a little bit higher chance that it happens? Yes, because of age, but I'm not just going to assume that last year will repeat one for one identically where he's just off the field in the playoffs. But I think he'll be a good advance piece, whether he gets hurt late in the season or not. I think Adams is very safe. Wide receiver 2. So round 5, we'll take it. We pass on Lamar. Don't have the biggest justification for it other than it's just a good value. However, I need a receiver on this team. Getting one before a big cliff. Round 6 is much, much different than round 5 at receiver. So we'll go Adams today. And I'm not upset with that at all. Let me check my Adams exposure while I'm at it. What is that looking like? I currently have exactly 8% of Devontae Adams. Yeah, not overweight like I was last year. And honestly, I kind of think that's a little too low. I kind of wish I had more shares of Devontae Adams, but we get one today. That's good. That's positive. That is a good pick in my opinion. But I meant just elite tight end in general, let alone taking 2. Gotcha. I mean, yeah, some people really don't like taking Bowers or McBride at all. I'm okay on taking Bowers after like pick 20. I think when you get to pick 20 and he's the best option, I'm fine with it. But McBride, I'm not dying to take it, even unstacked. But this is kind of gross, but I always like taking Drake May, even unstacked. I have no issue with it. So I'll take him here. That AJ Brown drafter is probably going to be pissed, but I don't give a shit. I just think he's the right pick. What's up, Hulk Smash? Potatoes. How we doing? But Bionic Donkey, couple of notable Saturday injuries. Zay Burden, yeah. A bit unfortunate, not ideal. It's still only August 8th. There is more than a month until the season kicks off. So I'm not going to panic. I'm not afraid. I would love a little bit more context on how serious the injury is, of course, but I'm not going to full fade them just because something happened August 8th. We still have a full month. But some injuries are bigger than others. Pepper Tony saying Zay injury seems like a nothing burger. I'm sure you hope that's the case. I hope that you're correct, Pepper Tony. It'd be not as fun to watch the Ravens without Zay Flowers, and I know you're heavily committed to him, but not every camp injury does matter. That's a fair point. Some of them matter a lot, though. Hopefully today's are not that big of a deal. But yo, thank you very much, Professional Fanatic. Thank you very much, Rob, for becoming a member of the Blunt Rotation. So locking in that team review, I would have given it to you anyways, but thank you very much for becoming a member. Appreciate that. Christian Ramos says, I don't know if it's just me, but I do not like Tootin's price one bit. Now that it's in the 4th, it's a little less exciting. There was a big run on RB in the 4th round. I'm glad I took Travis, honestly. Because, damn, Javonte, Bijel Tootin, Travis, Josh Jacobs, Montgomery, Swift, all in the 4th round. And then Judkins at 50. This lobby liked the running backs quite a bit. Felt the pressure. Kind of fast, but all right. My ranks say to take Justin Herbert, but I think I'm just going to grab a really strong tight end. Yeah, I'll do that. I'm not taking Tony Pollard. I could, but I'm not dying to do it. I'm just going to go Kraft, and we'll move on and just live with it. I have a few week 11 buys, but not enough yet to panic, and they're all on like different teams, so it's all right. But just keep an eye on it. McMillan. Yeah, I mean, you want to monitor the situation for sure. There's definitely... I wouldn't be checking out on the news at this time, that's for sure. But some of these injuries are a little bit overblown. Like Todd Bowles was like, there's no injury timeline for Jalen McMillan's recovery, and then it sounds like it's not that big of a deal after all. So sometimes there's just coach speak, sometimes there's just panic, and I don't want to overreact to anything, whether positive or negative, unless it's like a Ricky Pearsall out for the season. Like that, obviously, you got to pay attention to. But in general, I don't want to go too overboard on any particular thing. But the FF Enjoyer saying good pick on Kraft, still underrated. Yeah, and after you said this, I was reminded that Big Sploosh went double elite tight end. So not only is that a team I'm not really worried about, but it also kind of craters some of the tight end points throughout this lobby. And it does make having one of those strong tight ends a little bit more valuable. It does make it look even better when a team you're not really worried about burying you in the pod makes the tight end position that much more weighted against the top two. So having someone that can finish in the top 3 but is being drafted top 5 feels pretty valid, pretty strong. But I don't like many picks in the 7th round. I think onesie is definitely the way to go in round 6 or 7. There's a few receivers I like in the 6th round, but 7 feels weird. Addison goes 83. Interesting. I got Addison in the Eliminator yesterday at 102. That was pretty nice. But the Enjoyer says, personally, I have Kraft in the late 50s with no tight end premium, mid 40s with tight end premium. Yeah, you're not the only one that likes Tucker Kraft. He had a very good season last year. I know Huhames is very overweight. But interesting. Josh Downs, right, didn't he get hurt today? Shit. I'm actually just going to go Pittman first. I also worry about Keenan Allen on top of that. So I'm just going to go Pittman. I know what I'm getting with Pittman, and at the moment, he's not banged up. So maybe Downs will circle back again. I'm a little bit lower than Downs versus consensus. There are some very positive camp reports. I recommend you follow Zane Donani on Twitter. And according to his research, they really like Josh Downs. They feel very safe with Downs. So maybe I should have just taken him there, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. Him versus Pittman, I think it'll be kind of similar overall, but floor play wise, I think I trust Pittman quite a bit. And a groin injury for Downs is just not ideal. It's probably not that noteworthy at the end of the day. Maybe I should have just taken the falling price on Downs there, but I'm not upset that I passed. It's just kind of like maybe, but players I trust, Michael Pittman definitely fits the bill. I am still very, very concerned about Keenan Allen. Not gonna lie, but granted, I try to play the market, but that's just how I see things. Says the FF Enjoyer. Yeah, very valid. Playing the market, always got to keep that in mind. But okay, this is not my favorite spot in the draft, but it looks like quarterback is actually getting a little bit priced up. So I think I'm just going to stack. Oh no, I don't think I can actually. That's a double Double week 11. Shit. Sure, I'll just take the fall on Kyle Manungai. Not a huge fall, only like 4 picks, but I've been trying to get a little bit more of him. I think goal line usage is pretty strong. Chicago, a good backfield, very consolidated between him and Swift. And when you look at the games last year, especially when Swift got hurt, Kyle Manungai was just elite. Massive volume, really effective, and then his goal line efficiency was really, really productive. He had 8 touchdowns last year. There's not that many players that can do that. So I want the Bears backfield, and he is the cheapest investment on a very good team. So the Bears are run first. Swift I have a lot of, but he's maybe not like locked into a workhorse role. I think Manungai will mix in quite a bit. And then we also have like true elite league-winning contingent upside in case Swift does get hurt. So I'll take Manungai at a little fall. I don't mind it. On this team, with the build I have, we have CMC, Devon Achane, Travis Etienne, and Kyle Manungai. Not bad. Not bad at all. But Jamie says I did a fun start earlier today with Genty, Hampton, Brees, and Etienne, and Judkins. My first 5 picks. 5 straight running backs. I think 4 is the safer way to play it. But if it works, it works. Good luck, Jamie. That may have been a little bit riskier than I would have liked. Like if you told me you swapped out Brees for like T. Higgins, I think that would be a little bit better, honestly. But that's just me. I could be wrong. Honestly, those 5 running backs are fire. But I think when you start off Genty, Hampton, Brees, and Etienne, filling in your second bench spot before any other starting roster sometimes is tough. So good luck on that one, but extremely strong at running back, no doubt about it. But Devin Mychan says, I heard it's Snipe and Blunt Saturday. Is this true? Sometimes. Sometimes. I mean, I don't know if it needs to have the word Saturday in it. Maybe I should just rename the team to Snipe and Blunt. I snipe a lot of people, actually. I get sniped quite often as well, but I do snipe several people. Stafford goes 112 unstacked. That's kind of interesting. But the only reason I didn't take Stafford is because Drake May has the same bye week. That's the only reason. But Romeo Doubs is still here. Fantastic. I will take Romeo Doubs. Stacked up. Come on down, Romeo. Welcome to the team. I'm hopeful I get a quarterback I want. Around this turn, a lot of these teams have already invested heavily in quarterback. Like Swolberger has Dak and Goff. He took them both well above ADP. Team 2 has Caleb and Dart. Team 3 only has Mahomes, and then Team 4 has Jalen Hurts and Brock Purdy. There's 2 quarterbacks on the board right now, and both of them stack up. So as long as I get one of them, I will be very happy about it. We'll see what happens, which one I get. But I think the team is a little bit more committed to New Orleans. If I had to guess, I might prefer the Olave Travis stack with Shuck as opposed to Kraft with Jordan Love. But the fall on Love would be a little bit more notable. We'll see. This team does take Jordan Love, so I expected that. I didn't assume it. Unless I get sniped on Tyler Shuck here, that's who I'm taking. I'm grateful they took who I wanted otherwise, so I don't even have to worry about it. Tyler Shuck, come on down. Maybe I should take Jalen Coker for the sake of the thumbnail, but I think this team is hyper committed to New Orleans with both Travis and Olave. It makes more sense to do that. So the Week 8 buys, we have a few of them already. We have Tyler Shuck, CMC, Travis, and Olave. 4 players, 2 of them at running back Week 8. I want to avoid some Week 8 buys moving forward. And then I also have a few Week 11s, 4 as well. Drake May, Romeo Doubs, and then Adams and Tucker Kraft. They're all 4 Week 11. So Week 8 and Week 11 could be kind of a tough spot, but I don't think it's bad enough to worry about yet. If I start drafting a shit ton more of them, then maybe it's a problem. But at the moment, I have no issue with that. 4 is kind of like the max I want. 4 is kind of the ideal. And ideally, they're spread out across positions. But Week 8, I might have a little bit of a down running back room. Week 11, maybe receiver. But that's going to be the case for most teams. There's always one week. A week that is weak, usually, is the case on every team. But Pittman, more like Print Man at this price, man, he's a smash. I also, for whatever this was worth, this is kind of like my, when I tell Who Hames that Tank Bigsby is wearing number 8 and the single-digit number is a good sign, a good omen. The Pitt Man in Pittsburgh might as well be a superhero. You know, I think he's going to embrace the identity. He is the Pitt Man. I think there is also a little bit of a little bit of Pitt correlation going on that could go well, but appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that. Yeah, check out the 420 Hustler. Says Jamie, we draft best ball with IDP and I hop live on quite often. Jamie has a lot of... Whoa, Aaron Jones still here? I'm not... I think I should just take him. Yeah, why not? Why not? At 140... Is there something I'm missing on Aaron Jones? Is there an injury? Nothing updated here. Did I miss something on Aaron Jones, or is this just the lobby letting me have him? I'll take that. I haven't seen Aaron Jones this late in quite a while. I'll do that. In the pre-draft, Aaron Jones went at like 150. That shit was crazy. But 140 behind Tyrone Tracy, behind Keaton Mitchell. Chris Rodriguez. I prefer taking Jordan Mason, but 40 picks after Mason, might as well mix him in a little bit. But he is old. I don't know if he completely sucks. He is old, though. He is very old, but yeah, the age definitely relevant. But last year he looked way more talented than Jordan Mason. He was the only one that offered any like spike week production in that backfield. And I still think he's a pretty good goal line back. It's just inevitably he probably gets hurt, but I have a good running back room. I can afford him missing some time. Obviously if he just goes down for the season, it's worthless, but I agree here, Rob. After pick 135, very solid value. Let's just take the unique pick. Let's just take the fall. Y'all are going to decide it. I'll just take it. This team needs receiver and tight end. And tight end might get a little bit punched up. But Juwan Johnson already off the board. So with Shuck, it's not the play. Hunter Henry gets sniped. But it was the same bye week as Tucker Kraft. So Travis Hunter falls a little bit. But it's a little risky. I'm still a believer in Jalen McMillan, and reportedly the injury's not as big of a deal. He's more day to day than anything else. Todd Bowles is just like hitting the panic button every fucking chance he gets. According to Todd Bowles, his recovery timeline is undetermined, but that's just because they just don't. They're just gonna let it happen. They're not gonna be fixed on a certain timeline. McMillan apparently is not that banged up. Not enough to full panic on. So, I'm pretty committed to McMillan already. I'm furthering the investment, and we'll see what happens. But I'm not gonna be panicked about it. Because even if he misses like 3 games or something, should be okay. But yo, what's up, Hartman? Shout out Hartman. I heard Hartman talk about it earlier today. So Hartman quelled some of my fears on fading McMillan. I recommend you follow over on Hartman FF. Very, very sharp drafter. A lot of strong takes and good teams drafted over there. Good friend of the channel as well. He was live with us on our 10-hour live stream. That was a lot of fun. But say less. I'll throw on noties. Why not, eh? If you don't want to miss whenever I go live, you can definitely hit the notification bell. And if you are enjoying this draft, hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel. And one very quick reminder, new customers get $50 in bonus entries using promo code BLUNT. Code BLUNT gets you $50 on sign up after you play your first 5. Terms apply, link is in the description. Check that out if you're new to Underdog. But hell yeah, says Jamie. Good luck on the drafts. Appreciate that. Acevedo, good to see you back in here once again. But it's not pretty, but you can always stack Stafford with Ferguson later. Ferguson is a great pick. Ferguson is a very good pick in terms of spike week potential. Hard to get a value like that. I have Travis, so I'm not going to take Kamara. I think I'm just gonna go Trey Harris, actually. Actually, no, I'm going to go Dalton Schultz first. Because my tight end room, I don't want to be completely decimated and abysmal. I have a shit ton of Trey Harris already, so I will pass. I will go with Dalton Schultz. A 2-5-5-2 so far with Kraft and Dalton Schultz, May and Tyler Shuck. My receiver room has Olave, Adams, Pittman, Romeo Dobbs, Jalen McMillan. I think I need 8 of them. And then I think I'll take a third tight end. So 3 more receivers. I'm done at running back for sure. I think I can get away with just these 2 quarterbacks. With Drake May, I feel very confident. And then I'll probably mix in 1 more tight end, probably. Probably I'll do that. But Mike Washington goes. That's an interesting choice at 170. I'm not in love with it. But to each their own. And then Huncho Dean, I think he passes here. I think I'm going to get Flournoy. Yeah, Flournoy at 173. That's a pretty good fall. I'll take that. 11 pick slide on Flournoy. I don't take him a ton, but massive contingent upside and decent camp reports. If anything were to happen to Lamb like it did last year, we get some big spikes out of Flournoy. He can drop 100 yards in ways that a lot of other players just can't. So we'll go Flournoy and bet on the Cowboys, but we'll see. But maybe Bionic, maybe. Giving me the creepy vibes again, K-Space, but good morning to you. Good morning. It's technically still the morning. Ruben had to do that when I kept getting sniped on my quarterback stacks in one draft. Gotcha. Yeah. The QB snipes are a little tough, but the Ferguson pick I think is very, very worth it. He goes 174 in this one, so he is moving up the board. There are some very positive reports on T-Ferg this year, but more like Shitman and Schittsburg. Am I right? Yeah. Said the true Ravens fan, like a true Ravens fan. But damn it, Kayshon Boutte goes 181. I would have liked Kayshon Boutte on this team. It's all right though. But Kyler will scramble instead of check down to him, and also Kyler kills the offense in my opinion. I disagree. If you also look at James Conner in his career with Kyler, there were several games where you're right, he did not get many targets, but there's also a lot of games where when they do decide to throw the ball to the running back, Kyler checks it down a lot. There were like some 6 reception games out of James Conner the last few years. So I wouldn't full fade him. At 140, I think the injury risk is worth tolerating. But we could just take Dulcich. I'm not really dying to do that. But it is I'm going to go Keenan Allen in the 16th. I'm going to take Keenan Allen. We passed on Josh Downs. Let's go Keenan Allen. I believe he will sign in the next few days. Last year, he didn't sign with the Chargers until August 5th, and that was like a few days after Mike Williams got hurt. So it's only August 8th today, and I think he will probably sign by Wednesday. I think Monday we could easily see the headline, Keenan Allen signs with the Colts. I believe he's going there. I think especially if Downs has a groin injury, then they're going to bring in Keenan Allen. The Shane Steichen connection, he'll fit right in. He does not need to be practicing to deliver. Keenan Allen is a true veteran I would trust him. But what's up, Bukowski? How we doing? Good afternoon to you. You're in Minnesota, so it's definitely afternoon in your time zone. But yeah, same for Bucky in the fall comment. Yeah, that one was interesting. I still prefer Kenny Gainwell at cost, but yeah, that one was huge. But what's up, Alex? Hello, Sir Blunt. Well, we run in another draft. We will. We'll do at least one more. I don't think I'm entering that Frenchie Eliminator, though. I don't think so. Cyrus Allen goes 195. Get your guys season. Get your guys. But I could mix in another tight end if I want, but I think I'm going to wait to the final round. Let's go with a receiver. There's some interesting buzz on Keon Coleman, actually. I never take him, and this feels kind of weird, but I'll do it today. We'll mix it in randomly. His upside is pretty high. Last year, week 1, he had a 20-point game, and then he also had some healthy scratches, but it does sound like he's looking a little bit more trustworthy at camp this year. And I don't think they want to completely give up on him. He has higher upside than Shakir, less reliability, but definitely higher upside. And other than DJ Moore and Kincaid, like, you know, there's not that many receivers. Allen likes to mix it around, throw the ball to a lot of different players. I'll go Keon Coleman today, even though it feels a little bit gross. I'll mix it in. But maybe I should have taken like a rookie or something. Sometimes rookie receivers are really valuable. But I know who I'm going with tight end in the next round, and I'm not going to reach on him. That'd feel pretty stupid. Maybe you know exactly where I'm going to go. I think it'll be my first click of said player. But there are some good reports as well on the guy I'm going to take. We'll see if I get sniped, though. But I'm not going to jinx it. If you're paying attention, there is a stacking partner that goes counter to a lot of my bags. I would have taken Hunter Henry stacked up if he made it to me. But Huncho Dean sniped me at 148. So there's one pivot I can make that compensates for that and does stack up. I'm giving you context clues, but I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to jinx it. Jones falls in most leagues. He's a baller. Nice couple with Menungai, both pound in North. I don't know if it is a perfect compliment to Menungai. I don't know if I'm really thinking about that aspect of it, but I think just at 140, it's a much better pick than at 120. Oftentimes he goes like 115 sometimes. So they do want to limit his workload a little bit this year, but I think he's actually a little bit more talented than Jordan Mason in terms of like when he was in his prime, of course. He probably goes down week 4 and this pick doesn't pay off, but at 140, it's worth mixing in. Jordan Mason does not catch passes, so I do think Jones has some weekly value. But all right, we're going to do it. We're going to finally click it. Eli Raritan. I'm glad I have Kraft and Schultz because this feels a little worthless, honestly, but it makes some sense. It stacks up. I will go with Eli. It sounds like he's actually playing pretty well in camp. So I have a lot invested in Hunter Henry. I think Raritan will just occupy that Austin Hooper role. It's more of a long-term play, but to have one share, why not? Let's get a little bit different. It does stack up. So here's the full team. We have Drake May and Tyler Shuck. Running back room feels very strong with Christian McCaffrey, Devon Achane, Travis Etienne Jr. We also got Kyle Menungai in the 9th round, and then Aaron Jones in, I believe, the 12th round at 140. That's a 16-pick slide on him. That's pretty decent. We got a 2-pick fall on Achane. That was kind of nice. Our receiver room has Chris Olave stacked up. Adams for that floor. Michael Pittman, another floor play, but I do think he plays a little bit better this year with Rodgers. I like his skill set match with Rodgers. Romeo Doubs with the stack. I'm not afraid of his injury reports. I think he'll be okay. Jill McMillan, same thing. I think it's a little too early to full panic, but maybe it's risky with these two, but I think the upside for touchdowns is definitely there. So I like them in best ball. We got Flournoy at a big fall, 11 pick slide on him, so some high upside. Another Unk with Keenan Allen, so another floor play, but good value. I think even at 188, good value in my opinion. And then Keon Coleman just kind of for shits and giggles. True upside play, but might be worthless as well. That pick in round 17 was kind of weird, but I've seen enough on Twitter where I'm willing to maybe have some FOMO and mix him in randomly. But that one is kind of off-brand. I never really do that. It is what it is, though. I don't hate it. But we have an elite tight end with Tucker Kraft. That feels great. We have a really strong floor play with Dalton Schultz. A lot of volume. And then the contrarian risky pick, but could just be the piece you need randomly. Drake May likes to throw touchdowns to the tight end, and it does stack up. So Eli Raridan as tight end 3. We're locked into Schultz week 11. Let me find out what Schultz's matchup is week 11, just to see what it'll be like. The Houston Texans are playing Thursday, week 11, hosting the Colts. I'm not sure if that's good or bad. Let me look at Dalton Schultz versus the Colts real quick. Oh, it's actually not bad. It's actually not bad at all. Let me bring this in and show you guys. This is Dalton Schultz game log. A career of 32 catches and 328 yards in 8 games versus the Colts. Not a single touchdown. That's a bummer. However, if you look at the last 3 as a member of Houston, 4 catches for 52 yards, 7 for 55, 4 for 73. They do use him quite a bit against the Colts. So not bad to be locked into that. I wouldn't expect a touchdown, but yeah, holy Schultz. Holy Schultz. Well said, Bionic Donkey. You said that like 5 minutes ago, but perfect timing for me to get to it. Holy Schultz. We got smash that like button from K-Space. Appreciate that. 26 likes, 66 people watching. Looks like we're up to 31 likes. Appreciate that very much. We have a new member. Big Sploosh. Also, join the channel. Yo, what's up, Big Sploosh? Thank you very much. I was definitely going to take a look at Rob's team, but if you're also joining the Blunt Rotation, 100% we'll give you a team review. Let's take a look. Crumpernickel, though, did become a member first, so I'll give him priority. We have Justin Herbert and Kyler Murray. Love it. Love it. Those are my top 2 quarterback investments, so fucking love it. I love the playoff schedules with these 2 players especially. Herbert, I think, will win MVP. Absolutely worth pick 82. And then Kyler has a lot of upside in the Kevin O'Connell system. But the playoff schedule for Kyler is amazing. The Vikings are hosting Detroit. That'll be a shootout. Then they are hosting the Commanders. That game's also indoors. That'll be a shootout. And then week 17, they are at the New York Jets. I love Kyler's playoff schedule. And Herbert has an elite one as well. He's hosting the Niners. Then off the mini bye after a Thursday game, they're at the Dolphins. And then they host the Chiefs. Elite playoff schedule for these 2 quarterbacks. Love it. Kenneth Walker, Breece Hall, Kyron Williams, very strong up top. Keaton Mitchell with Herbert, not bad. And the Charbonnet click, not bad either. Given you built it this way with really good options up top, I'm willing to mix in Charbonnet. Sometimes I prefer a 6 running back build. With only 2 quarterbacks, it's possible you could have fit it in, but I don't mind it with this much invested at running back. I think it's fair to just stop at 5. So good luck, Charbonnet, getting some really positive reports. It sounds like Charbonnet might not even be on PUP. It's possible that Charbonnet is on the field week 4 from what I read earlier today. That would be awesome. I actually think Charbonnet is looking like a very good pick at the moment with all these positive camp reports. I think he's going to be healthier than people think. But Justin Jefferson, Christian Watson, Roma Dunze, really good with those 3. And then Mekhi Lemon at 87. Not bad. A nice fall there on Lemon. I believe that was round 8. Hell yeah. That's where I think Lemon really kind of should go. But I like that a lot. We got Xavier Worthy at 106. Kind of a risky play right now, but high upside. Worth mixing in. Shaheed, very good pick. Tesla, At 183, he did fall, so not bad at all. But there are some interesting camp reports where he can't separate. They're not as excited about him as they hoped. But last year, he had 6 touchdowns on very few catches. Just like Torrey Horton, when they hit the lineup, they hit it with a touchdown. That's what you're chasing. So I like this receiver room. Really strong top 3. Good value on Lemon. Really high upside with these two. And then mixing in the touchdown guys with Tesla and Horton. Very strong receiver room. Jefferson is also stacked up. And then Worthy with the bring back with Justin Herbert. Oronde Gadsden at 154. Sounds like you're not afraid of him. Kenyon Sadiq at 178. Nice falling value on Sadiq. And then you also took Njoku. So just playing both Chargers tight ends. I think that's pretty decent, honestly. I don't think Kolar, even if he is running with the ones, is going to be catching many passes. He's a true blocker, and he's getting paid to block. Meanwhile, Njoku and Gadsden are very explosive. In the Mike McDaniel system, I like them a lot. I also don't think the receiving core is good enough to not have them factor in quite a bit. So, like the team, very balanced. Good bringbacks as well. Walker versus Herbert, week 17. Brees versus Kyler, week 17. Very fun and very balanced. I like the team a lot. Good job, Crumpernickel. Rob knows his shit. If y'all haven't subscribed to the Professional Fanatics YouTube channel, highly recommend you give them a follow. But it looks like we have another member coming in. Bionic Donkey was in this draft, so you'll get a review as well. Or were you in this draft? No. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for joining. Thank you very much for joining. But if you are randomly, let me know. I'd be a bit surprised, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't think so. But let me know. Big Sploosh though is a new member. Gotcha, Bionic Dummy. Thank you very much for becoming a member. But let's take a look at Big Sploosh's team. He had pick 9. A big sploosh with triple O's. Stafford, Aaron Rodgers, and Brissett. Not my favorite quarterback room, but very inexpensive. And whenever you have that, it will lead to much better flex plays. So let's see how the rest of the roster is before we judge it. But I will say, at 208, I guess Brissett's all right, especially if it's stacked up. Rodgers, though, will play a lot more games than him, and then Stafford better stay healthy. So age is a concern, and then I also think bench risk is a concern. I could be worried that, like, you make it to week 12 and, like, randomly you just don't have any quarterbacks because they're all injured or, you know, benched. Like, that I think is a slight concern, but odds are that doesn't happen. I think it's a very low risk level, but I think it does cross my mind that you make it to the playoffs and you only have one option at quarterback, and it might not be as ideal as you might like, but for the cost, it's not bad. Travion Henderson at 57, not bad at all. Jadarian Price in the next round. Pollard at 81 is very fun. I like that discount a lot. Chris Rodriguez, you're not afraid of the rotation. I think he's decent. Should mix in on the goal line a lot. Jonah Coleman as well. I've been warming up to the click. It sounds like he's impressing at camp, and it's not like RJ Harvey was very effective last year. Dobbins is a pretty safe bet to get hurt. So I'm actually warming up to Coleman quite a bit because I trust Sean Payton to mix in all of those backs. And then once Dobbins goes down, Coleman could just be the man you need. But very affordable at the moment. We'll see. If not for Dobbins' injury risk, I would not trust Coleman. But at the moment, I'm taking him a little bit more often. I prefer to do it, though, at a discount, not a reach at 153. I've been taking him more at like 165, 170. I think I took him yesterday at like 182. But Sean Tucker does mix in on occasion, has that elite spike week availability. But I'll say this running back room feels a little bit risky. Price could really fall off once Charbonnet comes back. Travion just might be a low advance piece like he was last year. And then Pollard is 29 years old. He could get hurt. Rodriguez doesn't have any catching skill set, so kind of a cap ceiling. But in the Jags backfield, the touchdowns are decent. So I like the backfields you're investing in, but I think the players overall are just a little bit tricky. But you faded running back for a minute. That'll happen. But CeeDee Lamb, Tet McMillan, Chris Godwin, Matthew Golden, Jaden Higgins, Juwan Jennings, and Jeremy Hurt. Oh, you're the Bowers McBride team. Okay, I'm like, where the fuck is the The receivers on this one. Okay, yeah, that's what it is. I mean, it's not bad, but it feels lacking. You know, like it doesn't feel like it's very strong other than the tight end room. Like Lamb, Tet, Godwin is decent. I like Golden a lot, but he has no guarantees whatsoever. And then Higgins, I think, is a hard bet to trust, especially if Tank Dell is legit. Sounds like he's pretty healthy at the moment, so we'll see how long that lasts. But Jaden Higgins versus Tank Dell, I'd rather pay the lower price. But you kind of just needed volume. Juwan Jennings, a receiver 3 in a crowded offense. Little tough to trust. And then Jeremy Bernard, the rookie with Rodgers. Not my favorite way to play it. Also above ADP. Feels like you got a little bit desperate. Not too crazy, but just a little bit fearful. I think I would like this team a lot more with the 8th receiver as opposed to the 6th running back, or even like Brissett. Brissett unstacked. Oh no, you have McBride. Never mind. For a second, I thought Brissett was unstacked. I can't say I'm in love with this team. I'm just going to be completely honest with you, Big Sploosh. I hated it when it happened. The Bowers-McBride selection. I just don't love the combo. And I think it kind of shows. There's some missing depth at running back for sure. And then receivers, not even like the most compelling I've ever seen. The starting roster should be fun, but if McBride doesn't hit your flex, for instance, like, you know, like it's not as ideal. I think I would have passed on one of them. Either don't pull up Bowers and get McBride at 33, or don't take McBride because you already have Bowers. I'm not in love with this team. The double elite tight end feels like you're behind the 8 ball. I mentioned it when it happened, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it just because you're a member. This is my honest opinion. That's what you're paying for. I would not do this. I think you landed the plane as best you could. It's not atrocious, but it doesn't give me the most confidence. That's my honest take. That's my honest opinion. But holy shit. Yo, we got 95 concurrent viewers, 36 likes. I'm not even going to ask for... Honestly, appreciate everyone that's joining. One quick reminder, if you're new to Underdog, sign up code BLUNT in the description. Gets you $50 in bonus entries. I haven't mentioned this in like over a week, so I'm kind of pumping it a little bit extra today. But you can get $50 in bonus entries if you're a new customer on Underdog using promo code BLUNT. All right. That was all the team reviews. We're going to be drafting one more, and we'll give y'all a chance to hop in. Just because it's 100K up top, we're going to enter the puppy, but I'm going to catch up with the chat first, and then we'll do it. I'll give y'all a little bit of time to get ready, and then we'll give y'all that countdown drop. But I'm a little far behind in the chat. Let's catch up. We're up to 41 likes, so appreciate y'all for hitting that button. My nephew accidentally drafted Brian Robinson over Bijan in my family redraft league, and the only thing that went through my mind was that meme. Fuck! That's pretty crazy. It happened again, but we all knew it would. There were jokes about it when they signed Brian Robinson. That's pretty funny. But if Booty had made it back, I would have taken him for sure. But gotcha. Yeah, Booty was kind of sniped, but he's been getting good reports. It's looking like a good pick. But thank you for sending the chilies with the jewels, y'all. We got Disbanded sending a chili. Alex Faded sending a chili, and then K-Space sending a gold coin. Jamie sending a star. Thanks for the gifts, y'all. Appreciate it. But good afternoon and good luck, says Albie. What's up, brother? Just got back from watching The Odyssey. What a movie, right? It's actually pretty inspiring. Honestly, I really enjoyed that movie. Some people didn't like it, but I think if you really watch it from a technical standpoint and just like the themes as well, it's an awesome story. It was a good movie in my opinion, but yeah, I did not like the Frenchie Eliminator today. The payout structure, not my favorite, but, yo, you have 17% Coleman. That's a lot. That is a lot. I'll make that a little smaller, but, yeah, I enjoy the Odyssey. I might go see it again with my dad, maybe this week, but, Bukowski, I think a best ball streamer in the community is going to ship a team this year. Maybe you. I sure hope so. I sure fucking hope so. But, okay, K-Space. What if Keon Coleman has 1,500 yards? What if, right? What if he was the 33rd overall pick? He was highly drafted. But, the ER? Eli Raridan. Yeah, we took Eli for once. But, no, not Taysom Hill. Not today. The Joker. Sean Payton lies out of his teeth when he talks to the media. Sean Payton don't give a fuck about giving us full context. But we'll see. I think he's more of a dynasty play. I think next year I'm gonna be more in on Raridan, but this year Austin Hooper did have some touchdown games last few seasons. It's possible, but I still would rather to have Hunter Henry. Why not one share of Raridan though? But Big Sploosh, not my finest hour, but I could see a small sliver of light at the end of the tunnel. I mean, if McBride is just the truth, man, you know, if you're right on those two tight ends, then maybe. But we'll see. Jamie says, my dude Jacob Sanderson took Raridan at the 210 of our rookie draft. Makes me feel great about all the times I took him at late third or fourth rounds. Dynasty-wise, yeah, I think he's going to be a great pick. This year, we'll see. But Josh is listening to my show cranked in front of Walmart. Dope. Dope. That's fun. What's up, JT? Quincy says Rams win. I had a feeling this was kind of a pointless poll. Yeah, 77% of the votes say the Rams. Let's end the poll. Let's give you guys a more interesting division. Who wins the AFC South? How about the AFC South? I think it's kind of obvious, but let's see what you guys think. I'm adding the poll right now. But Linton Murray, I was team 12. Please let me know your thoughts. Love the channel. For the sake of time, Linton, in August, I'm going to be a little bit more stringent sometimes, but I'll look at it very quickly when we are in the next draft. But I think I'm going to enter a draft very soon. You are not a member, so I'm not gonna force it. I've been trying to set a few more boundaries with some of the channel perks. You know, if you want to become a member, it's $5 for the month. Anytime you enter a lobby, you'll get a team review. But I might take a brief look later. At the moment, I think I'm gonna just skip it real quick. But Hendo, the new DeAndre Swift, we'll see. I think he's higher upside than Swift. Higher upside for sure. But yeah, we popped off. We almost cracked 100, but looks like we fell back down just a tiny bit. It's all right. I don't know if... I think the only time I've cracked 100 was on that 10-hour live stream. I think that was the only time. But I've gotten close a few times since then. Yeah, you can't go Brian Robinson at the 101. But what's up? We're drafting the puppy next. Young Moolah, also a friend of the channel. Check out Young Moolah. Fun live streams over there. A good time on GAB for Life's channel. But X-Ray sent the jammin' for 200 jewels. I appreciate that. But George Holani. I'm not a Holani bro. That's where I stand. I'm not a Holani bro. I'm starting to become a big bull on Zach Charbonnet actually, but yeah. Maybe if it was earlier in the summer when I'm just trying to get my reps in, but if you're not a member, I don't know if I'm gonna force it. I don't think I'm gonna do it. All right, we're gonna enter the puppy, and we're gonna enter in. So technically, the countdown takes 14 seconds. I recommend you hit the button if you want to join this puppy. When you see Jaden Daniels, if you click it after Brett Favre, it's probably too late. But I think if you hit it before Baker Mayfield, you risk getting in the pre-flow. I think the sweet spot is between Baker Mayfield and Brett Favre. But let's draft one more, our final draft of the afternoon.
Nice and blunt, torch up, nice and blunt, burn up, nice and blunt, rank up, inhale, exhale, points rail, nice and blunt, torch
All right. There was about 9 spots when I entered, so definitely a chance for y'all to get into this lobby. We pulled the 12. The 12 spot is actually my least drafted spot in terms of like exposures. Like, you know, sometimes you just don't get lucky on certain picks. The 12 pick is actually my least drafted spot this entire offseason. I have a shit ton from pick 8, but pick 12 I have a pretty low share of, actually. So I'll take it. Not upset, but we taken the more expensive running back off major injury when Holani is free every draft. Shake my head. The Holani truthers, I don't understand. I don't. Maybe, but if you want a full fade Charbonnet, go for it. I do think in best ball, when all the money's made in weeks 15, 16, 17, if he's healthier than people think, he will be on the field vulturing Jadarian Price, and Holani ain't getting any fucking touches over Sharps. You don't believe in Sharps? He kept Kenneth Walker off the field. So, Super Bowl MVP Kenneth Walker might tell you that that's also a bad choice. If you want Holani, be my guest. I do not. I am not afraid to trust the talent of Charbonnet every now and then, especially if he falls like 10 picks. If he falls a full round, you should take a risk with Charbonnet. The team needs to be built properly to fit him on there. I wouldn't recommend, you know, your first running back is like JCM and Zach Charbonnet is your RB4 and you only draft 5 of them. That's pretty dumb. But on the team we drafted with where is he? I gotta scroll up. The Pro Fanatics. We drafted Genty, Derrick Henry, as well as Javonte Williams. And their bye weeks are weeks 13, 13, and 14. We need some production in those weeks. Sharbs' bye is week 11. He will be back on the field after the bye. So that was a perfect fit on that team. I actually love that selection on that team. And I'm not counting on him when I have Genty, Derrick Henry, and Javonte Williams. Speaking of which, I'm just going to do that. I'm going to go Genty and Derrick Henry. Fuck it. I don't give a shit about the week 13 bye. And maybe we just add Sharbs again. You know what? Let's do that. Maybe I won't get him, but I'll take a Genty Derrick Henry team once again. Shout out Professional Fanatics. But Jackson says 12 is my most drafted from Luckily because double RB is possibly the best start. Yeah, not bad. Typically, though, you can also just get any of the running back duos you would have at pick 12 from like pick 9, pick 10, pick 8 if you just wanted it. You can also just do that at another spot if you really want to. There's also that. But more like Hulani, says Pepper Tony. But, yo, Kalon Simpkins. What a name. But you just sent the GOAT trophy for 1,000? I do not know how much the jewels are actually worth, but that is by far the biggest gift I have received so far. So appreciate that, man. To put the word simp in your name is kind of wild, but appreciate that. Appreciate that very much. X3, Seattle backfield always murky. Give me both a price. Yeah, I think having shares of Jadarian Price and Charbonnet and then a few Holanis mixed in is fine. But there's also Emmanuel Wilson there. It's a little bit crowded, but I think talent-wise, if you told me all of them were healthy, I think I would trust Zach Charbonnet the most. But Pro Fanatic says Holani will get third down snaps, but it'll be like a LaQuint Allen situation in Jacksonville, better real-life player / role than fantasy. Gotcha. Yeah, there were some positive reports on Holani, but I think it's just like early training camp. Like he's the guy that's been in the system. He knows what to do. They trust him a little bit more just because of the veteran status. But it sounds like pretty quickly, from what I've seen, Jadarian Price kind of overtook him fast. And then they also don't hate Emmanuel Wilson fully. They did bring him in. Holani does not scare me to full fade. If I'm wrong on Holani, so be it. But I'm gonna risk it on Sharbs. I'm gonna take some risk on Charbonnet. The touchdown usage, I don't think will disappear once he's healthy, and that's what I'm chasing. In half-point PPR, best ball, give me the guy that's gonna be on the goal line. And if Sharbs will vulture Ken Walker, he's definitely vulturing George Holani, definitely vulturing Emmanuel Wilson, and definitely vulturing Jadarian Price as well. So I'm not going to be full fading Charbonnet. But what's my exposure on Charbonnet? Let me find out, actually, because I'm not going to pretend like I have a shit ton of him. It's 8%. It's right in line. Just one pick less than like where it should be. 7.9% Charbonnet. I'm not telling you to draft him like crazy, but to full fade him, I think is a little bit risk averse, more than I would like. But gas, I have more Derrick Henry than Zay Flowers. Ask me anything. Good to know. I could just do a full repeat on that team with Rob, but I'll get a receiver first. I'll go Jalen Waddle. And then I don't think I'm going to take Allen. At 37, I'm not in love with Allen. There's still some picks I like a lot here. Garrett Wilson's also week 13, so I don't think I'm going to do it. I'm going to go Scatavo. I have Scatavo over Javonte. So I'll go Scat. Just slightly. It's very close. I think both of them are very fine selections, but I'll go with Scatabo. All right, let me mention y'all who are in this lobby with me. We have Anthony Bestball on call at the 101. He's Tika 144. Alex Faded in the house. What's up? Op Luke. Not sure if you're watching. I may have drafted with you before, but could have just been a coincidence. The Pro Fanatics in here again. Crumpernickel at pick 4. Big Sploosh right next to him at pick 5. Young Moolah in the house at pick 6. Albie has pick 7. Joe Buckeyes at pick 8. Dildo Schwaggins, what's up? At pick 9. And then Jackson Duffy, J-Rock the Party. Looks like a full house. The only one I'm not 100% sure is watching is Op Luke. But overall, it's all friends and family. Full house in this one. But rain delay, what a perfect coincidence. Was there a rain delay somewhere? I'm not sure. But Derek, sorry, he's the GOAT. Says the Ravens fan. But honestly, that's a pretty fire take. Is he like top 5 all time? Like when you really think about it, especially if he like keeps crushing for another 2 years. He's under contract next season as well. If he puts up another 1,600 yards and 16 touchdowns, it's like unquestioned. The man is just like one of the best running backs we've ever seen in the NFL. But how many games does Scatabo play and why less than 10? I disagree with this, Pepper Tony. I think he'll miss like a random week, probably with a concussion or something. You know, like could I see him miss like, let's see, his bye week is in week 8. Could I see him get a concussion week 6 and they sit him out week 7, 100%? But last year's injury was very hard to repeat. I think the surgery went successfully, and he's a gamer. He wants to be on the field. I don't think he's missing more than 3 games. I don't think so. I'm willing to believe it. But he will definitely miss at least 1. That's for sure. He probably exits a little early in a random week. But if he's healthy, week 17, I want him against the Cowboys. I'll tell you that. And then the Giants, their playoff schedule is not bad either. They host the Browns in week 15. That's going to be really fun. And then week 16, they are at Detroit. Not the best matchup, but could easily just be a massive shootout. Could easily be a high-scoring game. Just look at the Jameis Winston matchup last year. That should be a lot of fun. And then Dallas did get better on defense, but I still don't really trust them at the end of the day. Those Giants-Cowboys games are usually shootouts, so I like Scatabo a lot. I'm not afraid. Maybe 4 years from now, I will refuse to click him, but I like Scatabo quite a bit. interesting. The Bowers team, Young Moolah took Bowers and Loveland, and then the Allen team also took Lamar. So some heavy-weighted onesie teams. We're not getting Parker Washington today. I think I'll just double tap receiver, Carnell Tate, Rome Dunze. Especially if Burden suffered an injury, maybe Rome is a little safer, but I like Tate at cost a lot of volume, and then Rome in a good offense, pretty consolidated target share. I like pick 12 a lot because you usually get at least 2 receivers that you really trust at that 5-6 turn. So a pretty balanced team so far. RB, wide receiver, running back, and then wide receiver. A fun way to play it, if you ask me, from the 12 slot. But let's take a look at the poll. Looks like, as expected, most of y'all are saying the Jaguars, but a decent amount believe in the Texans. 21% has some faith in the Colts as well. If Daniel Jones didn't get hurt, it looked like the Colts would have made the playoffs last season. So they're a sneaky bet for sure. And then there is one person saying the Titans. One person clicking the Titans. But it's hard to crack top 5 all-time NFL running back, but I think Henry is knocking on the door, especially with a couple more years next to Lamar. Top 10 easily. Top 10 easily, 100%. 100% top 10. Arguably already top 5, but 2 more years of elite production, I think he will finish and go down as a top 5 all-time running back. If he just stays healthy, no doubt about it. But Pepper Tony saying the Colts win the division. It's not a bad bet at all. It's a pretty tough division to get out of, but I think the only team that can win the Super Bowl is the Jaguars. I don't trust CJ Stroud enough. Despite the Texans having an elite defense, they're a bad matchup. You don't want to face them if you can avoid it. But I think I would trust the Jaguars a little bit more. Colts, though, sneaky Super Bowl pick. But for whatever reason, something kind of just goes wrong with them every year. All right, so Burrow goes stacked with T. Higgins at 62. Then Jadarian Price, BTJ at 64. Dildo Schwaggins took him. Tyson is Joe Buckeye's first receiver. So maybe a little bit thin, but that's the cost of double elite quarterback. I do not like Allen and Lamar on the same team. Unless you took like Flowers and James Cook. But even that, not my favorite way to play it. Young Moolah with a Jaden Daniels, not taking a single running back yet. At least Loveland in the 4th is a little bit better than McBride in the 3rd. But we'll track Young Moolah's team. We'll see if he pays the price for his strategy. But Big Sploosh took Drake May with A.J. Brown. Rob Crumpernickel passed on quarterback at the 6-7 turn. Went Harrison and Jalen Warren. Started with Puka London. Love Jacobs and Beischel Tootin. Jalen Warren. Alex Faded also didn't draft a quarterback. He took Ibuka 26. He does go in the 3rd, so I suppose it's valid. And then Anthony Tika took Caleb with Luther Burden, took Kraft at 73. All right, what's going to happen here? Dak goes to Dildo Schwaggins. Herbert went to Duffy, damn it. He has Hampton and Walker, the bring back. I cannot blame you. Can't blame you at all. T-Law went to the P-Wash drafter, so I don't think I'm reaching on quarterback here. Damn, this is kind of gross, honestly. Shit. This kind of sucks. Fuck it. I'll build out a double Denver. Make that Bo Nix stack even more likely. And then, damn. Nah, I'm going to go Rico Dowdle. Going to take another running back. Let's go Rico. Really strong at running back is never a problem. Never upset with a team like that. And now I can kind of just full fade running back for a long time. And probably just take Zach Charbonnet. This would be a very nice way to have Charbonnet built out. Genty, Derrick Henry, Scatabo, and Rico Dowdle. Charbonnet would fit nicely. So if I get sniped on Bo Nix, I'm going to be pretty fucking upset, honestly. I might be fucking livid if I don't get Bo Nix. But, you know, it is what it is. But, oh shit, I have 3 week 10 buys as well. That could be a dilemma. Waddle, Romadunze, and Cortland Sutton all with the same bye week. Got to avoid week 10. I will be okay, but I don't want more receivers with week 10. Given how it started, it's a little bit risky if we take more of them. So no Buccaneers receivers. I'm not going to take a Jalen McMillan. No. Who else is week 10? It's the Bucks, the Bears, the Broncos, and the Eagles. The Eagles are also week 10. So I could take Goddard, but I'm not going to take Dontavian Wicks. Okay. The team is very balanced so far. The 0-4-4-0. And we don't need to draft many running backs the rest of the way. Nor receiver. But Kyle Monangai goes 97. Paired up with Caleb and Luther Burden. Not sure he catches many passes this year, but a cheap way to correlate with Caleb and the Bears is never bad. You have Dart also stacked up with Neighbors. Good team so far, Anthony. Good fucking team. But Purdy goes, Stafford goes. Golden at 98. Interesting. I rank him at 101, 102, actually. I like Golden a lot. So to see him at 98 is notable. Not bad, honestly. I don't mind it. However, I will say, Team 2 does not have a quarterback yet, and that scares me just a little bit. There is no guarantee at 119 you get the quarterback you want and the quarterback value that you need. Sometimes you just get bullied, and sometimes you get sniped, and you're stuck with Malik Willis at 122. Alex faded, taking a bit of a risk, not drafting quarterback yet. But can probably get away with it. It's not the end of the world. I will just say, when I'm on the left side of the board near the bookend, whether it's pick 1 or pick 2, I never feel that confident expecting the quarterback I want to make it back. Thank God Dildo Schwaggins took Pitts. If J-Rock the Party snipes me, that'll be crazy, but I think I'm going to get him. J-Rock already had 2 quarterbacks, so Bo Nix is here. Phenomenal. Thank the Lord. And then... Nobody stacks up, so I think I'm going to ignore quarterback. Damn. Do I just take Diggs? Actually, no. Let's do it. Let's double commit to Denver. Let's double commit to Tennessee. Den and 10. We got the Den and 10 correlation. And that just locks in Cam Ward in the next round. But Bukowski, I heard any news on Damon Claiborne, question mark. News from camp basically said he sucks and can't catch a ball, bad for possible punt/kick return. Yeah, from what I've heard, it sounds like he's fast, and that's about it. Sounds like they don't really trust him. He is not showcased enough as of yet. We will see. But yeah, love when a plan comes together for sure. By taking Sutton, it definitely de-incentivized anyone to grab Bo Nix without him. So maybe the same logic can apply here with Cam Ward. I am hopefully optimistic that I get Cam Ward at 132, 133. But even if I don't, I expect a decent amount of volume for them. And I think they're relatively valid selections here. But I already have a bag of Stephon Diggs in the 130s, even the 140s. So I'm not really dying to just pull him up just for shits and giggles. Even though he might still be worth it, I've been trying to build out teams without Stephon Diggs lately because I have so much of him already. But Bukowski says local news here in Minnesota, very harsh on his prospects. Gotcha. Yeah, he was a big project type of prospect. It was never guaranteed that he would be a good NFL running back. I remember back in the pre-draft when the first time I took him was with Huhames on the channel. And Huhames was telling me how he needs the right landing spot. But if not for his explosiveness, it's an uphill battle for Damon Claiborne, most likely. But wow, Alex Faded got bailed out. If you ask me, that Baker Mayfield, Jordan Love selections was a gift at 119, 122. They have been falling. They have been available a little bit more. So maybe it wasn't as risky as I thought. But I have seen teams like Alex Faded's get really boxed out of quarterback. And it's a bummer. So good for you, Baker, with Bucky Irving at least. And Igbuka, the stack is really nice. I forgot you had Igbuka. Even better. That's great. And then Jordan Love unstacked, but who cares? You need quarterback points. Yes. Good luck on this one. Glad it worked out for you. Very nice. The fantasy gods were pleased. And they granted you your wish. But Young Moolah was the only team other than Albie here with one quarterback. So he goes Kincaid. Yeah, I didn't think someone would reach on Ward for no reason. If anything, I might be able to push Cam Ward if I really want to. There's a chance I get him at 156. But in this lobby with all of you guys watching... Literally, it's a full house. I think I'm just going to play it safe. I think I'm just going to stick with Ward at this turn. Assuming I'm not sniped. Assuming that does stay available. But, running backs chill right now. Receiver has some decent volume. Debo almost made it back to me. I would have considered Debo for sure. But I think just... opting for a tight end. My tight end 1 is also a fair play. I'll just queue up Cam Ward and then think about it a little bit. I don't really love Andrews, but mixing him in isn't crazy. I have the Derrick Henry bet, so another bet in Baltimore isn't insane. I've got a bunch of week 10 buys already, so I think I'm going to pass on Goddard on this one. You know what? Sure. I don't take him too often, but I will mix in a Mark Andrews for once. I'm not in love with this pick, but I think it's fine. I think it's okay. I prefer Goddard, but with a week 10 bye and already like 4 players on my team that have one, I think I'll skip it. I actually have... That would have been my 5th player with a week 10 bye had I taken him. 1, 2, 3, 4... already. 4 is kind of where I like to stop in terms of bye week investments. It's not the end of the world to have 5, but because I have it so balanced, so weighted towards receiver, like right now, week 10, my only receiver points are coming from Colonel Tate and Wanda Robinson. That's not ideal. That's not the best. So to tell me I also have a flex play option out as well week 10, that's not the best. I'll go Andrews just because I don't really take him that often. And for the sake of exposure, let's do it. But, was it worth passing on Goddard there? I'm not sure. I'm not fully sold, but some people really believe in Andrews. He's a good floor play. Should score some touchdowns, but I don't think he has much upside. Don't think so. But oh, you do have Golden, right? You do. I missed it. I'm not used to seeing Golden there at 98, so I just assumed he wasn't on your team. But very good pick in hindsight. Excellent selection when you look back on it. Very good. But Albie, if you found yourself in the unenvious position of having to draft a Cleveland quarterback, you have to take Sanders, right? Yes. Yes, I agree with that. I think you have to. I do not want the massage. The massage is unconsensual, as it always is with Deshaun Watson. But Pepper Tony, a Ravens fan, thinks Andrews is washed as fuck, but will just do a fall into the end zone thing a good amount. If they brought in any other tight end, I would be full fading Andrews, and I don't take him very often. I rarely do it. Actually, let me find out what my shares of Andrews are. Yeah, I have Andrews at 6%. It's not a click I make very often. Only 422 yards last year, but 6 total touchdowns. That's the minimum for him. 2 years ago, he had 11 touchdowns. He needs to go off in the touchdown department. And if he didn't have the Bengals week 17, I don't know if I would ever take him at all. But that matchup week 17 is pretty juicy, not gonna lie. Was super out on him last year, but back in at this price this season. Gotcha. Last year I drafted so much Isaiah Likely, and then the foot injury just cratered him. This year, I don't really take either. Actually, I have 10% Isaiah Likely. I do take him a little bit, but I almost wish I had taken Michael Pittman instead of Cortland Sutton, because then that would give me the excuse of just drafting Rodgers right here. But Trey Tucker goes. McMillan at 156. I think I'll just take that. Damn it, it's week 10, though. Fuck. Shit. I can't do it with week 10. That's another receiver. Fuck. That's not good. In that case, do I just take a tight end? I'm taking Charbs for sure. I'm 100% taking Charbonnet. Fuck. Fuckity fuck. I don't know where to go. I'll just take Juwan Johnson. Definitely my preferred tight end selection among the options here, but I really wish I wasn't locked out of week 10 right now, because McMillan would have made a lot of sense there. Damn it. Pepper Tony, in an alternate universe, Likely doesn't get injured in training camp and is still on the Ravens this year. Very possible. Yeah, very possible. It does sound like Isaiah Likely is the clear number 2 target, though, behind Malik Neighbors. When Neighbors was out, he was the clear go-to receiver, and it sounds like from everything I've seen reporting, he is by far and away the number 2 receiver for Jackson Dart. I had Cam Scatabo, so I'm invested in the Giants. It might have made sense. But all right. Bo Nix, Cam Ward. Not my best quarterback room, I'll say that. Not my best work at QB. But the roster's pretty loaded. Bo Nix and Cam Ward. It's okay. It's not amazing, but it's okay. Ashton Genty, Derrick Henry, Cam Scatabo, Rico Dowdle, and Zach Charbonnet. This running back room is fucking lit. And then receiver, I think we're taking 3 more probably. Waddle, Carnell Tate, Roma Dunze, Cortland Sutton, and Wan'Dale Robinson. I need some options for week 10, but that's really it. And then tight end Andrews and Juwan Johnson. What build am I going to finish with? I'm not totally sure if I need to go 3-5-7-3 or if I can afford to just stop with those 2 tight ends. I feel like I probably need another quarterback, honestly. I kind of feel like I need it. But I'm not totally sure. I'm not quite sure. There's also some reporting that Gunnar Helm is not a lock for the main snap share at tight end. There's a world where Gunnar Helm is actually not as good, but yes, I could also just take an Evan Ingram share. How many times have I clicked Evan Ingram? Once. I have one share of Evan Ingram. Holy shit. Holy shit. That means I can afford another one. That's what that means. You know what? Yeah, I'll probably just take Evan Ingram at 205. If someone wants to snipe me, be my guest. Be my guest. But Crumpernickel has Stafford and Rodgers. Also, fading quarterback on his roster. Very, very cheap investment at QB. Not afraid of the age. Was it your team that had the same quarterback combo in the last one, or was that somebody else's? I forget. But yeah, the age is the only problem. The price is not, though. The price is not an issue. Wicks goes, so I'm not tempted to take him. It's between receiver, tight end, and quarterback. I do like Barner a lot, though. When it comes to the remaining tight ends, Barner would have been my preference there. I'm going to go Tank Dell. Apparently, he looks kind of healthy. So I'll go Tank. And then we didn't get Kayshon Boutte on the last one. I think he has higher upside than Judy. But I've quickly talked myself out of Jerry Judy. I could go Ridley, though. I could take Ridley and hope for a trade with him. I do think he's an interesting trade candidate, actually. I could, though. Yeah, that's what I'm going to... I'm going to go Mendoza with Genty. Yeah, I don't feel really amazing about my quarterback room, but yeah, this fits. Genty and Mendoza. Let's go. Shout out Alex Cups. I know he likes that stack, but I've never spoken to Cups. Just know, according to his data, he does say that's a good pick. So we'll do it. There's not that many quarterback options worth it, and I think Mendoza probably plays more than expected. So I think I just needed a quarterback there. Yeah, I like this team a little bit more with that third quarterback. Tank Dell. Let's hope for the best. But will he even make it to week 10? I don't know. I don't know about that. We'll see. But if anything, I'm not really loving the third tight end on this team. Structurally, I'm not totally sure what to do. Because I kind of want 8 receivers, to be honest. All those week 10 buys scare me a little bit. But it's just 1 week. I don't need to be a fucking pussy about it. We can tolerate it. I'll probably take the third tight end. I think so. But I'll be honest, I'm actually a little bit interested in Michael Mayer a little bit more than Ingram, not going to lie. But Albie says, I would have loved Kamara there. Sofa King close. Sofa King close. That's funny. Getting past the... Is there like a filter? Are you allowed to type fucking close on this? But I've never seen that. Sofa King close. Pepper Tony says, bro, same. I started clicking Judy a bit, then I was like, what are you doing? Yeah. That's exactly what happened. What's my Judy share? Okay, I only have 5%. For like a week, I was in on Judy. I was like fully sold. Yeah, he's getting traded. He's going to the Falcons. For a week, I convinced myself, but yeah, only 5%. Yeah, this is exactly what happened. Okay. Glad I passed there. Ridley went 190. I was gonna say if Freiermuth made it back, there's the bring back against Cam Ward, so that could be interesting. Caleb Douglas getting some hype. Chris Bell apparently. What's the news blurb on could play this preseason? Holy shit! I saw Kay Allen go, and I was like, God no. Keenan is still here, thankfully. Thank the Lord. Keenan's still here. Okay, I really need to think about this. You know what? I'll queue up Chris Bell. But then tight end options. There's Ingram. There's Tonjes. There's Washington with the bring back. There's Mayer. Shit. All right. I'll just bite the bullet. I'll take Evan Ingram. But damn, this tight end room feels disgusting. Damn. Low upside tight end room for sure. I really am not sure what the right play there was, but Ingram should be on the field. And it does stack up. So, all right, here's the full roster. I did not click Chris Bell. I was not willing to do it. But we got Keenan Allen. I was so thankful for that. Bo Nix, Cam Ward, and Fernando Mendoza. Pretty fun, honestly. Pretty cheap as well. Thank God I got the Bo Nix double stack, though. Genty is our Mendoza stack. Derrick Henry, the same buy, but who gives a shit? Scatabo, let's hope he stays healthy, but a phenomenal pick in my opinion. Rico Dowdle, love him. This group of 4 running backs feels very strong, and then we have the luxury selection of a Zach Charbonnet. It is 5 picks above ADP. I mentioned to someone I'm not in love with doing that, but on this team, I think it really makes sense, really fits. And then when you're at the bookend, you have 22 picks before your next selection. The player pool gets really wide in terms of who fits your roster there. So a very minor reach on Charbonnet, but like I said, you need a very specific roster to take him and make it justified. On this one, I think it's wholeheartedly a good pick because in week 13, I got the double bye week. I need someone to fill in, and Charbonnet 100% will be healthy after the bye week. Full go, in my opinion, especially if it sounds like he's willing to forego the pup and maybe even be on the field by week 4. That's the report I saw recently. There's a chance he's actually on the field by like week 4. So Sharbs on this team, I fucking love. But in general, it is still a bit of a risky pick, but high upside for sure. I like it. Waddle, Carnell Tate, Roma Dunze, Cortland Sutton, Wan'Dale Robinson, Tank Dell, and Keenan Allen. We have the triple week 10 bye, but like I said, stop being a pussy about it. It's fine. Andrews, Juwan Johnson, and Evan Ingram. Very mid. I really wish I had Dallas Goedert, honestly. Like, this is mid as fuck. But we could get 10 touchdowns out of Andrews. That would be nice. We probably get a top 15 floor weekly with Juwan Johnson, and then maybe there's just a random spike on Evan Ingram. But damn, this tight end room is extremely mid. I don't love that. Quarterback is inexpensive, a little bit mid as well, but that was kind of the price of starting off 4 running backs and 4 receivers without the onesies. But had I not gotten Bo Nix, I would hate this team. But with Bo Nix, I can see the vision. I think we have some chances. I did not get a bring back though in that Patriots game. That's kind of a bummer. Maybe I should have just taken Kayshon Boutte instead of Tank Dell. Where'd Boutte go? He went 199. Yeah, maybe I should have taken him instead of Tank Dell, but it's fine. It's all fine. Okay, we had a full house in this one, so those who paid for the team reviews will get them. Albie is a member, I believe. Pro Fanatics is a member. We also had Big Sploosh just become a member today. Albie, are you a member or are you just a moderator? I'm actually not 100% sure, actually. But gotcha, Bionic Donkey. Try to get in, drafted another puppy. Good luck with that team. But yeah, I think Mendoza was definitely the right pick on this team. On this squad, I think Mendoza fit a lot. I'm glad I took Mendoza. But so fucking we Todd did. Sofa King, we Todd did. It just hit me. It just fucking hit me. Yo. Hey, oldies can still ball too, Rob. Says Ruben. I do have a 6 running back. Yeah, the running back room is fucking lit. But honestly, I think it's okay. It's not my favorite team. I'll say that. It's not my favorite team. I did not take every pick with my ranks. The running back room is awesome. But yeah, there's some. I think it's okay. I think it's okay. I think it's all right. Definitely a shaky receiver room. Maybe I should have grabbed like a Addison or someone, and then had Kyler Murray open to me instead of Wandale. Yeah, that probably would have been better. I should have taken Addison instead of Sutton. That double Bo Nix stack, probably kind of worthless. Not worthless, but not my favorite. Misconstrued says multi-tabling alongside a salad and spritz got the best of me here. Excuses, Dildo Schwaggins. Excuses. But I hate my quarterback room, says Alvin. My team is super mid. But okay, gotcha, Alvy. I'll take a look for sure. But what's up, Hetzer Metzer? This is our last draft. I didn't say it. I just read it. I just read it. Gotcha. Okay. So I think we have 3 team reviews to do. Big Sploosh for sure. Crumpernickel and Albie. Is Jackson Duffy a member? Jackson Duffy might also get a team review. I'm just trying to make sure I get everyone. Yo, Jackson, if you are in here, and you are. Okay, yeah, Jackson Duffy does get a team review. Gotcha. Okay, we got 4 reviews to do. We'll start off with Jackson. Jackson took Justin Herbert and Jared Goff. O'Marion Hampton stacked up with the Ken Walker bring back phenomenal. Jadarian Price, J.K. Dobbins, Tyjae Spears, and Kalen Black. Not in love with the Tyjae Spears pick, but Kalen Black high upside. I think the Tyjae selection was a little unnecessary, but the 2682 always can afford that extra luxury selection. Not terrible, but not my favorite pick at ADP. Not gonna lie. We have Garrett Wilson on this team, Christian Watson, Alec Pierce, Deebo Samuel, Juwan Jennings, Malik Washington, Jerry Jeudy, and Cyrus Allen. Talk about a risky receiver room. This feels risky as fuck, actually. Juwan, Malik, Jerry Jeudy, and Cyrus Allen. Hopefully Cyrus Allen does pay off, but these 3 in particular feel pretty mid. Deebo, though, at 130 is pretty nice. And then Alec Pierce, if healthy, is worth it. There is some injury risk, though, with Watson and Pierce. Receiver, not bad. A little bit risky, though. McBride and Dallas Goedert, that looks pretty nice. I wish I took Goddard on my team. I regret the Andrews pick so much. All right. Very solid. Don't think you need the 3rd tight end with McBride and Goddard. So that Tyjae Spears pick totally makes sense. With Herbert and Goff, you don't need the 3rd quarterback. So yeah, that's the only pick I kind of complained about other than these 3. And it's pretty late. I think overall this draft is pretty nice. Yeah, this team is pretty legit. I like this team, Jackson. Good job. We got Albie in here, Tyler Shuck, Daniel Jones, Bryce Young. Rather mid, like you said, but Is it stacked? That's the question. You have Olave, you have Tet, you also have Tyler Warren. So in that regard, it correlates. It's all right. It's not amazing, but I think Shuck and Daniel Jones are kind of underrated as long as they both stay healthy. And then Bryce has some appeal. Not the most, but a little bit. CMC, Saquon, Jonathan Brooks, Brian Robinson, Nick Singleton. Very solid. I don't love the Singleton pick too much, but CMC, Saquon, and Brooks, that'll get the job done. And then Brian Robinson at 186, I would take it too. The Singleton selection, not my favorite, but final round, go ahead and mix it in. It's not crazy. Really top heavy though, with some injury prone older guys. They're both 29 years old, and when they miss time, they miss the full season. So hopefully they stay healthy. If they don't, you probably are not winning much money with this team. But worth the risk though. At 18, I'm 100% taking Saquon. No doubt about it. This is a very fun combo. Good top 2 running backs for sure. Olave stacked, Tet stacked, Adams at 55. That's nice. Mekhi Lemon, Travis Hunter, Zachariah Branch, and Kayshon Boutte. Decent. I wouldn't say it's elite. I would say it's just decent. But with 7, I don't love the Travis Hunter investment as much. I think whenever I take Hunter, I like to have 8. And I think with Warren, Fannin, and Kincaid, that needs to hit the flex a lot. And I think it probably will. So probably compensates for it. The tight end room is fucking awesome. Receiver is decent. Running back is very top heavy, but some risky picks. But if they stay healthy, they're all worth it. And then quarterback, like you said, is kind of mid, but for the price, it's correlated. It makes sense. You got some good team bets. So honestly, the receiver room could be a little bit better. But I think the one pick I don't love is the Fannin selection. If you told me you took a receiver instead of Fannin, I think I would love this team. But there weren't that many options. Maybe you should have just taken a quarterback. Stafford was off the board, so no stack there. Taking a random Jared Goff or Kyler Murray would have felt a little bit odd, but I think the selection I think I would have liked to see you make was like either Stephon Diggs instead of Fannin, or you could have gone like Deebo Samuel instead of Kincaid. I think those two would make this team feel much better because you don't necessarily need the third tight end. So either that or take a quarterback unstacked where you took Tyler Warren. But I like the Tyler Warren click a lot. I think it's the Fannin selection that I'm not in love with here. I think that's the one pick I might not have made. And at that point, maybe Diggs is just worth it. I took Wan'Dale over Diggs, but you could have also taken Deebo over Kincaid. Those are really the only other directions I think you could have gone in that would have paid off. Or just taking like an unstacked quarterback instead of one of those tight ends. That's the only thing I think I might have changed. But it's not bad. The tight end room is really sick, so pretty decent. Hoping to get Stafford, but forgot about Puka. Yeah, sometimes that happens, but glad. Yeah, that board was a little bit gross. I don't hate the Fannin pick in full context, but that's maybe a pivot point you could have made. All right, we'll move on though. Solid team. Big Sploosh is a new member today. He gets a team review with Drake May Mahomes and Sam Darnold. Very strong. You are locked into Mahomes week 11. What are you getting? What matchup is it? The Chiefs are hosting Arizona. Mahomes is going to go nuclear in that one. Very, very nice matchup for Mahomes in week 11 when you have no other option. But Quinshon Judkins, Tony Pollard, Keaton Mitchell. So the running back room falls off fast. Dylan Sampson, Emmett Johnson, and Khalil Herbert. Holy shit. You are just praying for a Quinshon Judkins. Oh, no, you have both Cleveland Browns? Gross. You're praying for Hampton to get hurt. The running back room I'm not envious of at all. JSN, AJ Brown. That's elite. Devontae Smith, that's awesome. Terry as the fourth is fucking lit. Shaheed, perfect fit with those guys. A.D. Mitchell and Tyquan Thornton. The A.D. Mitchell pick feels almost worthless a little bit, but I guess mixing him in randomly is okay. I don't like him, though. Player take wise, I'm not a fan. But Laporta and Kelsey, very strong tight end room. Yeah, it's just running back that's fucking gross. Hopefully Pollard stays healthy, and hopefully the Browns actually offer some touchdown upside. But if you told me you just took a running back instead of Darnold, that might help you. If you told me you took yeah, I think running back instead of Darnold might have made some sense. Tack on Tank Bigsby there instead of Darnold. I like this team a lot better, but that's just me. Darnold with JSN is totally valid, but also with Shaheed, even more justified. The Drake May Patrick Mahomes combo, though, is probably good enough to get the job done. So I think that's maybe the only pick I don't love, and running back is so gross to me that I think I might have wanted another running back. If you told me it was a 2-7-7-2, I think this team would be pretty fucking lit. That's just me, though. Who knows? But you reached on Tyquan Thornton at 188. That's interesting. Not bad. Just a little interesting. Good luck, Big Sploosh. The running back room needs to work, but I think it has a shot for sure. And then our boy Pro Fanatics Rob Crumpernickel took Stafford, Rodgers, and Brissett. Second time we've seen this combo twice in a row. Did you have it, or was it somebody else that had it in that pit bowl? I'm forgetting if it was your team or somebody else's, but old guys could have some injury risk. Brissett has some bench risk, but for the price, it's pretty nice. It's not bad for the price. You also might get 40 touchdown passes out of Stafford again, and you're laughing to the bank. So worth it. It helps the rest of the roster get strong. You have a Jeremiah Love, Josh Jacobs, Beischel, Tootin, Warren, and Pacheco team. I don't love Jeremiah Love as the RB1, but Warren as your fourth. It does fill in the floor of the room. Gotcha. There was another team that had literally this exact quarterback combo. I think that was Big Sploosh's team, if I had to guess. But Love, Jacobs, Tootin, Warren, and Pacheco. It can get the job done. I just worry a little bit about the advance rate of Love. So as your RB1, it's a little tricky. And then Jacobs, a groin injury already. There's some risk factors here, but then there's also a world where he's just crushing with like 15 touchdowns again, and you're just laughing to the bank again. So the Tootin pick feels a lot more valid right now than I used to think. And then Warren, I'm more of a Rico guy, but it looks like it's clearly like a 50-50 split between the two. So very fine with the running back room. There's just a tiny bit of risk. But Love and Harrison are also correlated, stacked up with Brissett. Very nice with that. And then receiver, you have Puka, London, Harrison, Pittman stacks, Puka stacks, Harrison stacks. You did take Coker. I did not get my thumbnail guy on this one, but that's fine. Coker's a good pick right now. Trey Harris, love it. Ted Hurst and Chris Bell. You did take Chris Bell. Very fun. Very strong receiver room with a lot of upside, a lot of floor. If anything, maybe Ted Hurst or Chris Bell is like a luxury pick. I think with Kittle and Jake Ferguson, I might have liked the third tight end. A good fall on Ferguson, but there's a lot of risk factor with Kittle's health. If you told me you swapped out Chris Bell for like Jake Tonjes, I think I'd actually love it a little bit more. But just because receiver's so strong, that's maybe my only like tweak, but like it's such a minor change. It's really irrelevant. I just hope that Kittle stays healthy. Ferguson, though, is pretty solid floor play. Not bad at all, and that's a good price there at 141. So good luck at running back, but I think you don't really need it. Very solid team, very balanced, elite receiver room, and then if Kittle's just healthier than people think, then the tight end room is fantastic. So very strong team from Crumpernickel, 1924. Good job, Rob. If anyone hasn't checked out the Pro Fanatics, check it out. But was going to take Muth at tight end 3, decided to go aggressive with 2 tight ends. I respect it, but yeah, you could have definitely gone Muth over Ted Hurst. I think I would have done that. I think I would have taken Muth over Ted Hurst. But that's just me. I have a lot invested in Freiermuth, and it's not that necessary. If you get away with Kittle just staying healthy this season, you are in business. The team is pretty good. The team is very good. I like the running back. 4 of them by round 7 when you started with Love, I think is very wise. But all right. Misconstrued says tight end doesn't matter. You want some good tight ends, but in general, if there's one position that's not as strong, you can totally get away with it at tight end. But bookends can be tough in a sharp room. Yeah, this one was definitely a sharp room. So at least my running back room is great, but we'll see. Glad that you enjoyed it, Alvi. Glad that there's good rewatch value. All right. That's going to be it for me. I'll see you guys tomorrow, probably a late night draft on Sunday. And check out a bunch of other live streams. Let's see if anyone else is live right now. Can we send y'all over there in case there's a homie that's live at the moment? Let me check my feed. At the moment, I'm actually not sure. My homepage does not show me anyone that's currently live. My subscriptions page. Yeah, I'm actually not seeing anyone at this moment. So if you are a live streamer, now's a good time. Looks like there's an open window. But all right. GG's everyone. Whoop whoop.